Testing. Testing. My older sister is put on a pedestal. My younger brother, he always gets away with simply everything. Me? Well, I am the middle child. Unlike my two other siblings, I'm neither. Sometimes I'm both the teacher and the student, and sometimes the babysitter and the babysat. I'm too young for the privileges of the firstborn, yet too old for the liberty given to the last. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Valerie, the underappreciated middle child. And yes, I am here to discuss the middle child syndrome. What is the middle child syndrome? It is a psychological issue of which a middle child struggles with a feeling of not belonging and being left out. It is when he or she desires for attention which they feel they do not get. In short, they envy. My mocking sister labels my condition as social attention deficit disorder. Yes, sad indeed. Being the eldest, she's had luxuries throughout her childhood that I have never tasted. Now, does birth order really affect our lives? Yes, it does. According to Delroy Paulhurst of the University of British Columbia, there are stereotypes about birth order, stating that the firstborn and the lastborn usually have a clear-cut role for the family. In most societies, the firstborns are the heir apparent. For lastborns, the road would often have already been paved by older children, and hence is usually most carefree. This leaves the middle child without any significant or distinctive tasks. Thus, middle child syndrome dawns. Let us look at two examples from history, namely Elliot Roosevelt, brother to 26th US President Theodore Roosevelt, and fourth in line of the 6 siblings. In 1883, Elliot Roosevelt started battling depression and was finally institutionalized. The cause? What else? The constant comparisons with his ever successful and powerful older brother, Theodore Roosevelt. The oldest and the youngest gets the most resources throughout childhood and adolescence, such as food, time, investments, and emotional nourishment. In plot and graph, it shows a U-shaped distribution. Frank Sullivan from the University of California also plots the self-esteem of the first, middle, and lastborns, of which follows the same curvy linear trajectory. Ladies and gentlemen, yet as middle kids, we aren't completely in a heap of misfortune. In the book Born to Rebel by Frank Sullivan, it is said that, unlike first children, middle children are more prone to rebel against the status quo. And that, I believe, is an admirable quality, just breaking stereotypes and rigid social norms. Later borns are more willing to take risks. In a study of 300 brothers who are Major League Baseball players, it was the younger siblings who put themselves in harm's way, crouching down on catcher's mask to block an incoming runner. On the other hand, middle kids pursue riskier, more innovative, and more creative approaches, transformational changes, which I suppose is vital today. What's more, personality tests shows a remarkable sense of responsibility or conscientiousness in firstborns. Personally, I wouldn't want to be burdened with such intentions. Laterborns, on the other hand, score higher on the simple ability to get along with the world. And finally, to boost my sense of security, the University of Birmingham discovered in 2005 while examining about 400 cases of abused children, that when one in a family was abused, the scapegoat was usually the eldest. Despite all scientific studies, I've come to realize that studies and statistics are cold and precise things passing human behavior. Families are a good deal sloppier, varying by size, income, ethnicity, and much more. A mishmash of clashing emotions. Science may yet overturn the whole theory, but I believe otherwise. People read birth order books like horoscopes. Beware, my friends, of these vague inscriptions of your life. Middle kids out there, hear me out. We are special. Herbert Bayard Swift, an American journalist, once said, "I can't give you a surefire formula to success, but I can give you a formula for failure. Try to please everybody all the time." It is about time we did things to please ourselves and not others. Let us make the best of our situation. Miley Cyrus sings, "I have the best of both worlds." So we do. Well, after all my complaints, I suppose I am outgrowing this phase of desiring my parents' absolute attention. I have never really been truly depressed about being stuck in the middle. And despite my knowledge now of this syndrome, I doubt I ever will. I am, after all, the cream in between two Oreo cookies. Different, yet still the most delicious part.